I'm upset. Wait a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, world premiere of the new intro right now. I'm upset.
Come at it.
The Maniac.
Good evening, good people. It is I, the Maze Madman. I'm upset.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, good people. It is I, the Maze Madman. I am here with my guy,
The Maniac.
and of course,
Medic.
got a dope show lined up for y'all. First of all, I got to give some props and respect to my guy Lich Max, who put the video together. Shout out to Lich Max. Holla at Lich Max for all your video making needs. There is a small fee associated with it. Talk to me. I'm Lich Max's agent. We'll get you set right. I'm joking. Reach out to Lich Max if you need something of that nature. But without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we got a lot to discuss tonight. But we also have a very special guest. My guy, your guy, everybody's guy, Dre Fame is with us. Dre, how you feeling? We'll have claps.
First of all, go blue. Go blue. Thank y'all for having me on. I appreciate it, man. It's a real big honor, man.
No, it's an honor for us, man.
I'm here though. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. Dre, let's get right to it, man. I met you for the first time at this year's spring game at the Hailgate. Very cool dude, man. Hailgate is awesome. I've heard about it long before we ever, saw it and were a part of that. How did you get associated with Hailgate?
It started probably about 15 or so years ago. Me and my guy John, to be honest, it wasn't even my idea. It was his. I can't take really no credit for it. He the mastermind behind it. I just joined, and you know what I'm saying. Me and him, that's like my brother. So, I rep it just like it's mine. So, I tried to blow it up as much as I could, and it became what it became, and it's so awesome now, man. We have people coming from all around the country, home and away games. We do sometimes. We do Lions. It's just a great atmosphere for people, man. Even if you are on the away team, we show love, except if you're Ohio State.
No doubt.
It's just love, man. Love, man. I appreciate y'all for stopping by, man. It was an honor for y'all to, come through. I think we had Chase there when y'all was there. I hope y'all got a chance to meet Chase Winovich.
I think we just missed him, man.
Yeah, we just.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Shout out my guy, man. Dude.
Absolutely. Chase Winovich, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, who he's speaking of. But Maniac, go ahead.
Yeah, man. So Dre, again, man, we meet, just like May said, man. I interviewed you there at Hailgate. I sent it to you. So talk to us, man. Where you from originally? How did you become a Michigan fan?
I'm born and raised in Flint, Michigan. I've been here my whole life. I lived a couple more places, but how I became a Michigan fan, my granddad was a Michigan fan, and me as a kid, just being under your granddad and being around him yelling at the TV and just seeing the colors and the helmet, I instantly became a fan. And then I got to go to a game, and it was Desmond Howard's year I think it was his last year, if I'm not mistaken. They played Maryland at the crib, and when I went, it was nothing like it. So I was just a fan, you know what I'm saying, from there on out. Probably I'm gonna say around maybe 4 or 5.
Yeah.
So I've just been a fan my whole life, man, my whole life, really. Don't get me wrong, I like other schools, but I'm a diehard Michigan fan. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not like a homer and I won't watch other schools or nothing like that, but it's all go blue in my household. I live and breathe this for real, for real. If you know me, you know it's a passion of mine to even just be around great people like y'all. Like, just from where I come from, it's not common for a person to do what I'm doing. So I'm very honored to be in greatness presence. And
Looks like we
There's
have
a
a little bit of technical difficulties, but
little lagging.
while we get there we
Let
go.
Let me see. So
I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I cut out.
No, it's
yeah,
all good.
it got cut. So now with that being said, your wife, she's also a huge Michigan fan. How did you guys meet? Was she a Michigan fan already, or you turned her into a Michigan fan? How did that go?
Now, you know what I'm saying? She was already a Michigan fan, but she wasn't like a big Michigan fan until like me, you know what I'm saying? And then she see that I wasn't missing games and how excited I was to be, you know what I'm saying, in that environment around, you know what I'm saying, the football team and on that campus. And she just had to come get her piece, which I'm not mad at. And I really appreciate her for coming in, and she found her own niche. Like I after I showed her the ropes, she made her own lane. And it's funny, I tell people she's more famous than me now. So and I love it. I love it. I have no problems. Me and her are very competitive when it comes to, you know what I'm saying, a lot of things as far as Michigan wise. So it's very fun. It's very fun, man. I love it, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Kinetic.
No, I mean, I'm just listening. I've kind of been aware of Dre for a while now. I've been in the Facebook group with Hailgate for about 2 years now, something like that. And I've interacted with him here and there. I got to meet you at the spring game finally. But yeah, when I was coming out of my a lot of the surgery and the medical stuff that kind of kept me from being able to keep up with football a lot, Hailgate was one of the groups and one of the communities that really helped me get back into it and get caught up on a lot of what I had missed and stuff like that. So it's nothing but love for me, for Dre and for Hailgate.
Absolutely.
It, man. I appreciate it.
Dre, let's talk about this, man. There was a legendary Hailgate turnout for Bryce Underwood. I believe it was a playoff game. Let us know what that was like, how that was organized. I believe it was, things were starting to percolate in terms of the possibility of Bryce coming to Michigan, and you guys showed up and showed out. Go ahead.
Now I can't give you the whole behind the scenes thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that went on, but we just gonna say a little birdie, you know what I'm saying, wanted us to come and show our support. So when we got that message, and we wanted him anyway, you know what I'm saying, we ain't want him to go to LSU, but when we heard it was a chance, a slight chance of him flipping, we said, why not? Let's go out and show him some love and show him why we want him, and we did. And I'm glad that a lot of people came and showed. I mean, we showed out. They even let me be a cheerleader and play with the pom-poms. And I got to meet them after the game and tell them to stay home. So it was a real big thing. And I appreciate everybody that came out and showed that love and support for real, because I mean, that kind of helped, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know if it did per se, you know what I'm saying? Because I never heard him say it helped or not. But in my heart, in my mind, I feel like us wearing our shirts that day and screaming at him all game and showing his family and the community that we wanted him to stay home. I think that really showed him that, yeah, we wanted them to stay home. So yeah, I'm glad to be a part of that. I feel like that's a part of history, like Michigan history type, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then it was so crazy about that situation, man. You know, we was getting bashed on social media so bad, and it was crazy. Like the whole world was laughing, like, he ain't gonna switch. Y'all did it for nothing. Y'all look desperate and this and that and this and that, which was fine. I mean, that's people's opinion. I'm not knocking no one's opinion. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's entitled to their opinion. But once his mom gave us confirmation and told us we did a good job and she wanted us to come back, I didn't feel like we was doing anything wrong, and we showed up. Like I said, we came again, and hey, it worked. You know what I'm saying? It worked. He came to our tailgate and showed us some love when he first got on campus, and like I said, man, it was just it's magic. It was magic.
I mean, I think anybody that tries to say that it didn't help, that it didn't matter, I don't know to the degree that it did, but it definitely had an effect, because you guys were effectively showing him a taste of the love that he would get for being a hometown hero and staying in Michigan, going out there at the big house in front of a much bigger crowd that diehard Michigan fans. And you know, I mean, it was kind of that situation where at the time he was trying to, when he was, you know, maybe flipping, maybe not, he was trying to do it in a way that was as respectful as possible to his commitment at the time, to verbal commitment to at the time to LSU. So I don't think he was able to sort of come out and give the love to it as much as he could. But from everything I've heard from people around him and around his people, it was appreciated. And I think he showed that by coming in and sort of returning the favor once he had made the flip and showing love to you guys as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, that it helped Dre. I don't care what anybody say. They can laugh all they want, man.
I'm glad.
No,
I'm just glad,
and that's good, man. No. So look, with you know, you was there. Now you get the last laugh. You and Hailgate, right? Because he ended up committing to Michigan, one of the biggest commits and probably in Michigan history so far. What was your thoughts? You was at the spring game with us, right? What was your thoughts on that spring game, man? And what's your thoughts on the Michigan team, you know, going into the season?
Spring game is like I done did that a lot of times. I already know how vanilla and it's just like, I'm gonna say it's like an all-star game real quick between Maize and Blue. You know what I mean? It's like that. They really not calling plays, you know what I'm saying? They really not showing too much on defense. They're really not, you know what I'm saying, showing what we're gonna be doing the whole season. So I really don't take too much from the spring game. Like I said, it was good to see Bryce out there, and you know what I'm saying, in the Maize and Blue and the wing helmet in the big house, no doubt. But the showing really didn't show nothing. We'll really know something after week 1. Maybe even week 2. You know what I'm saying? We'll see how we go in Oklahoma in that environment and see how he plays if he is the starter week 1. But like I said, man, the spring game really didn't show us nothing. And for the season, I have to see. You know what I'm saying? Because again, it was the spring game and it wasn't telling us much, and they didn't show much. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I can't really just tell you. I want to say we're gonna go undefeated. One thing I do know is that we're gonna beat Ohio State again.
Hey,
that's we can write that off. You know what I'm saying? But everything else is up in the air. it's up in the air. It's all on how he performs and how we look. Because I don't have no doubt in our mind about the running game. I think the running game, that's gonna still lead us to where we need to go for this year. I think we're gonna lean on the running game still a lot this year, just to get Bryce get his feet under him a little bit. But I still think we're gonna gun it, and I think this year we're gonna have at least a close to 1,000-yard receiver, 900-yard. I'm gonna say receiver. I don't know who it is yet, but I say we have a 9. I think we're gonna be rolling, man. Like I said, we just got to see how he comes out and how he plays. And I don't think, from me watching him in that for real live, even though it was high school, the game we went to, 2 games we went to, man, I just don't see him not being great. It's just all about how our O-line perform and if our receivers can hold up to him, because I don't have no doubt in the quarterback at all, like at all.
So talking about the run game, this has got us and the other guys in the Avengers from the other channels a little bit divided here. Obviously, it's going to be some kind of a 50-50 or 60-40 split in one way or the other, but we got RB1A, RB1B. Which one do you think is at that RB1A? I personally I'm on Team Marshall, Jordan Marshall. Some of the guys like TJ are on Justice Haynes. What do you think?
It's close. It's real close. Real close. Like you said, it's 1A and 1B. And either way, I wouldn't be mad. Either way, I don't think, you know what I'm saying, us as Michigan fans are going to be disappointed. But I'm sorry to say, I think it's gonna be Justice too. He gonna get.
Hey, there's nothing to be sorry about. That Justice is a beast
yeah,
too.
I mean, yeah, you know what I mean. But just going, I think he gonna be. Not saying Jordan Marshall not doing his thing or nothing, because I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. We don't know what's going on in camp. But just from what I've been hearing and everything, I think he say if they give him 50 carries a game, you know what I'm saying? Justice has 27 and Woodson has 23, you know what I'm saying, 23. That type of deal, you know what I mean? Yep. Like, it ain't gonna be that many carries, you know what I'm saying?
There's not gonna be much separation between them at all.
At all. But I still
it's just a fun little thing to debate about.
For sure.
No doubt. Dre, we had a fan of that vile, disgusting cesspool in Columbus on the show last week. Shout out to Shrock, no disrespect. But we played a little game at the end of the show. I want to ask you, what is your favorite Michigan win in the rivalry with Ohio State? And then tell me your most heartbreaking loss in the rivalry.
All right, look. Okay. Now, my most heartbreaking one, bro. I ain't even gonna lie to you, is the one when we came in and we thought I can't remember what year it was, but it was like 49 to 50 something, the zip or something like that. Man, yo, I try to block it out of my mind. You know what I'm saying? But
when we got smacked. That's 2017. We put some points on the board, but we got smacked.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I think it was Josh Metella's last year, whatever year his last year was.
Yeah, 2018.
Okay, yeah. That year, dude, that whatever, you know what I'm saying, that year, man, when I tell you that was because they, you know what I'm saying, we was coming in with a good team, and I think we was even like 1 or 2 maybe. I can't remember how it was set up, but we weren't supposed to lose. You know what I'm saying? We had hype on us to win that game, and we just got destroyed. And that was one of my heartbreaking losses ever. But my favorite loss, obviously,
Metellis' last year was 2019.
I mean, my fault. But he's talking about the 2018, because 2019 we wasn't good. We already had like 3 losses going into the Ohio State game. 2018,
it was either one of them years that we was good and we went in, you know what I'm saying? Ohio State came to us. And we got slaughtered. I mean, slaughtered.
That might have been 19 then.
But 19 we was 9-3.
18, we
Yeah.
lost
I can't.
62-39. 2019, we lost 56-27.
Will we
That might
lose
be it.
in 17? 17, we lost
26-27. I
big
can't
too,
remember.
right? Or no, that was close. 17.
Like I said, I'm living in the great years right now. I don't try to go
Right.
backwards
Yeah,
at all.
yeah.
So you know
I
what
can't
I'm
even
saying.
count.
But
I don't
just
even know
remember,
anything before 2020, 2021.
I just remember. I'm
We're
telling you, I just
all
remember
going
that
to
car
start doing
ride
like what
home.
Garrison does and act like college football
horrible.
started in 2021.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I be doing. I swear. I don't remember nothing. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Everything, even though I do know, but I block it out.
No doubt, man.
What's
your favorite win?
But my favorite win is obviously Aiden's last year when we all rushed the field.
Okay.
It was a magical moment, and that game, that whole day was just it. Yeah, if that whole day was just something, I don't know, man. If you was there, the snow was falling, but it wasn't cold. Hey, man, and once we did it, us to rush the field, and oh man, it was just I cried a little bit, man, and it was a great. It was one of the greatest feelings of my Michigan.
Oh, did we lose him?
Yeah, I think we did.
Did
there
y'all?
He is.
Yeah.
Am I back?
You're back.
My fault, man. I got it's a bad storm. It's a bad storm by my house, man. So
it's all good, man.
Wait, it's storming right now?
As best as I can. It's a huge, a super bad storm.
Yeah.
But yeah, 2021, man, that was the best year, man.
I picked that year too. Because we had to get that monkey off our
or the
back,
wind blowing or
mean?
something, because it's saying something about my storm.
Yeah. 2021 was a big one. We had to get the monkey
we
off
did.
our back.
We did have to get that off.
Yeah. Jim needed that.
I mean, 2021 is good. I don't know. 2023, the game and then the Rose Bowl, that was just they were so like competitive and close, and the wins were just so huge.
Yeah, but we talk about just the game.
Yeah. I guess if we're just
talking
about
just the game,
right.
No, because I was about to say if we talk about bro, that run we had to get to the national championship, bro. Oh, my life.
I'm just thinking
ever,
like that throw that JJ had between the two defenders, like that was so iconic. I loved it.
Yeah, bro. When I tell you, bro,
this is a wild statement right here.
Garrison 100%.
Hey, I'm sorry. Now I don't want to get you. I don't want to.
Oh, you good?
You involved in the debauchery of our chat.
Hey! You should hear some of the stuff I say about Ohio State, man. They know me. They know it's the suck eye for me.
Dre Fame. So look, man, I'm notoriously known for going back and forth with OSU fans. My man, I believe you met him in the spring game. His name is Johnny Olden. Every Sunday, he has a live chat open to anybody. Don't matter what fan base you like, but he's a Michigan dude.
He calls it a live chat, but it's more of a battle royal.
So everybody up there, and it's majority just Michigan and OSU fans. Now look, one thing, I'm a passionate dude, Dre, and they mistake my passion for yelling. Oh, you yelling? But yesterday, it kind of went left, and I kind of felt bad because at the end of the day, I hate Ohio State. I do. Yes, I use that word hate. I do. But at the end of the day, I'm not trying to. I don't want to disrespect nobody personally, neither. And yesterday, I kind of went in that direction, and I didn't mean to do that because that's not who I am. I've been in those battle royals a million times, and it was nothing. But sometimes, dudes say stuff disrespectfully, and you let it rock, and enough is enough, man. We all grown men at the end of the day, and I'm only going to let but so much slide. So, I said what I said. But the bottom line is, man, you always welcome as well. It's every Sundays. You could get up there. You have to debate. You could go up there, just talk whatever, Michigan, or, whatever you want to talk about regarding college football. But yeah, when it comes to OSU fans, I'm always ready to get in the kitchen and cook their ass all the time.
Me too, man. Hey, I was about to say, hey, I'll cook, man. I ain't gonna come in there peaceful at all. Y'all showing a lot of respect and a lot of restraint. I don't show them nothing because they don't show us nothing.
That's a fact.
And
A lot of the time,
only respect I have is for another podcast. They do it for Ohio State, and you know what I'm saying. We was partners at one time, so we built an actual friendship. So you know what I'm saying. I go troll them on their lives every now and again in the comments, but you know what I'm saying, and they come troll us. But other than that, them the only ones I really show respect to. Everybody else, you know what I'm saying. I get them the thumbs down, man. So.
yeah,
I love the
I
debate.
feel you.
I'll do that all day. I'll do that all day.
Facts.
No doubt. I'm sorry, we just got a bad text message. But anyway, Dre, before we get you out of here, man, we're not gonna hold you up all night, but I do want you to talk about your pod. I know you, when we were talking, you said you was starting the pod, trying to get that off the ground. Go ahead, blast that, tell the people where they can find it, and what you guys are doing.
Yeah, we first off, we started a group, the Victors Nation, man. We 18,000 strong on Facebook. The Victors Nation LLC. If y'all need a Facebook group to come join for behind the scenes stuff and all type of dope content, man, come join. So that made us start a podcast and just building friendships and connections. I interview mothers like other players, like me and my partners, my three partners, Jason and Derek. My two partners, Jason and Derek. We interview parents of the players, like through their journeys of like high school, even, you know what I'm saying, pre-K, and we get dope stories. Don't get me wrong, we do fathers too. So I'm gonna just say parents, but we mostly do mothers, but we do fathers too. So I'm gonna say parents. But we get great stories and like we just try to bring that to the side of the Michigan community that don't get to see that side and hear those sides, the stories, because every weekend I'm blessed to chill with the parents and build relationships with them every week. I like, they come to my tailgates and all types of stuff. So I try to bring them, or we try to bring those stories and situations and behind the scenes stuff that a lot of people won't be able to have access to. So we do it every Tuesday at 9:00 Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. So please like and subscribe. We have a Twitter page too as well, the Victors Nation LLC. And then we have a web page too where we write articles at the victorsnation.com. So please come join, man. Like I said, I try to do it for all the fans that can't do it or not able to come to the big house. I try to show them an experience that that you won't be able to see from a TV's perspective or another perspective. So I ain't got to the interviews yet because, you know, players be on the move, but I'm trying to get there.
No doubt, the game, we know that firsthand.
Yeah, we know.
So, but
no doubt, man. But this is the Facebook page right here. Shout out to Kinetic pulling this up.
I appreciate it, man.
LLC. We got a question
I'm already a member of it, so
I believe all three of us are actually.
Yeah.
But we got a question from the chat from our resident Dom Father, the Dom Father. He says, does Dre think Day, speaking of Ryan Day, is a great coach?
I do not. I think
Amen.
He just
Thank you.
I think he just he was blessed with the Urban Meyer effect. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
listen.
I feel like Urban Meyer. Now, don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? He just won a national championship, but again, they paid. You know what I'm saying? It's behind to pay players, so obviously they're gonna be in the race for that. But I just feel like Urban Meyer left his cupboard so full, and he do it. Now, don't get me wrong. He is a great recruiter. That's what he is. He is a great recruiter. But you know what I'm saying? As far as a coach, no, I don't think he's a good coach at all.
This is how we feel here.
It's bona fide scrub. He can't play.
Like, what is the criteria for to be a great coach? I think that I think Ryan Day is a good recruiter. I think he's a decent play caller. But I don't think that he's a program builder. I don't think he's a leader. I don't think he's a coach that develops talent. And I think that all of those are qualities that you want in a great head coach. I think that a lot of people get hung up on national titles and stuff, and those I think are sort of icing on the cake. But I don't think that a national title necessarily makes you a great coach. I think you have to have all of those qualities along with recruiting and play calling, or at least being able to oversee the team and put the right staff together to be the play callers. And I just don't think that Ryan Day has all of that. He's not the complete package.
Yeah. And this and like,
give you an example. Oh, go ahead.
No, Dre, do your thing. Do your thing, champ.
No, I was gonna give you an example. Like, even though we all are Michigan fans, man, and you know what I'm saying, we go to each Ohio State the game, you know what I'm saying, knowing we gonna win. Last year we were supposed to get killed, and everybody knows it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows it. And how that game went, for us to pull that out, it showed me Ryan Day cannot coach. That's what that is. That's what it showed me right there when we lost. I mean, when we won that game. And y'all know we was not supposed to win that game, man. I don't care what nobody say. We was not supposed to win that game, man. And we won. Yeah. That showed me everything I needed to see.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah. Dom definitely called it last year. And you know, and like I said, you know, OSU fans, unfortunately, they get caught up. Like, to them, if you don't praise them, none of they players, they get in their feelings. I don't know why. Like, bro, y'all don't have the greatest everything. Like, they gotta chill. Now, like I said, Ryan Day is a good coach with the potential to be great, right? He has the potential. No one can say that. But to tell me right now he's a great coach, absolutely not, man. Absolutely. They caught up in his 70-10 record. Now, I'll say this. Look, I'm a Michigan fan. And remember, I'm a fan of Michigan. I'm not a fan of the Big Ten. I don't care about any other team in the Big Ten. If it ain't Michigan, I don't care. And let's be honest, in his first 6 seasons, a lot of these teams in the Big Ten weren't good, bro. We got to call it like it is. I wouldn't say it was garbage, but it wasn't top notch, you know, all around. So he's had elite rosters, 5 stars all over. Listen, Dre, in 21, 22, and 23, OSU had more 5 stars on their roster than the entire Big Ten combined. Let that shit sink in, bro.
That's why I said he a great recruiter. He is a great recruiter.
And he's a good babysitter of a team that's already built.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? It's not hard, bro. If I gave y'all a 5-star team, bro, with a name like Ohio State, bro, it's not gonna be hard for us to keep going to go get these 5 stars every year, knowing we got a brand behind us. That's why I hope Michigan gets to this level, because we got to get we got the name. It's just like I don't understand why we can't consistently get it in like how everybody else. I don't know what we missing. I don't know who we gotta hire, but we gotta get it. I mean, it's going good right now. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying, y'all know what I mean. Like on the Ohio State level of recruiting, like we gotta get it together, man. Like I don't know.
Yeah. I think we can do it, but I think a lot of it, in at least in the recent, you know, history, is the Ohio State was willing to go beyond the rule of the beyond the rules to recruit to compete with the SEC, doing what the SEC were doing. Michigan didn't have the football program did not have the backing of the school itself and of the board to do that same, to go to those same lengths. So, still talking about Ryan Day as a coach, that program was built by Tressel and then by Urban using those methods to compete with the SEC. And I'm not hating on them for it. Like, the SEC was getting away from it and they decided to go ahead and do it. Respect to them for doing it, for being willing to do that. But that program was built and handed to Ryan Day in that state. That's not building. Ryan Day has not built a program. Last year with the scuffle that happened after the game, that showed that Ryan Day didn't have control of his team. He's not a leader. He sat there looking around like he didn't know what was going on and didn't know what to do to step in to stop it.
Well, he knew.
And
they're not planting that flag on our field again,
right?
Bro.
And he just stood there and watched as Sawyer assaulted one of his assistant coaches over it, and it was like, what's going on, man? But like he's a good coach in that you put a good recruiter and a good play caller into a position with a program that's already built, with a stocked roster full of a decade of recruiting at the SEC's level. He's a good babysitter for that, and he's a decent coach to a good coach for that situation. But you give him a team like what Harbaugh came in after Rich Rod and Hoke, Ryan Day's not building the program the way that Jim Harbaugh did.
That's fair. That's a fair assessment.
Hey, low key, the question should have been, what do we think when Ryan Day loses to us for the 5th time? Is he about to get fired?
I mean, Ryan Day takes the number one rated player, 5-star player like Jack Sawyer, gets him drafted in the 5th round. Jim Harbaugh took 4 stars and high rated 3 stars and got him drafted, developed them to get him drafted in the top 15.
It's crazy because Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant, depending, right, like OSU, depending which recruiting websites, they were 3 stars coming out of high school.
Yep.
Some of them,
they went top 15. Colston loves them too. Went top 15.
Shout out my brothers, man. Shout out I'm so proud of them boys, man. Shout out my brothers, man.
And Will Johnson too, because he's on a revenge tour right now to make everybody pay for passing on him.
Yeah, shout out my brothers, man.
Shout out to GT,
Josiah, all y'all, man. Congratulations, boys.
For sure.
Congratulations.
For sure.
Yeah, I got a graphic right here to give him some respect.
Shout out to GT. Thanks for the $5 super chat. He says Ryan Day has a fantastic record against teams that he is way more talented than, just like Don Brown. That's a fact. Don Brown is another person, maniac, as you know, who will pay for his war crimes against the University of Michigan.
We need it. Put it.
He's got to pay for it. There's other people that must pay.
Let me ask y'all this.
Go ahead.
Was y'all in the squad? Was y'all on that what's the name? Looked like Don Brown last year too? Was y'all on that train?
We were. I gotta be honest.
These two were. I wasn't. So Dre, check this out. So I actually, part of the way that I got onto this show and got invited to be part of the show regularly was I was calling in when these guys and over on Voice of College Football, TJ and John were talking about Wink is garbage, Wink is fire Wink, like all that. And I was coming on as a caller saying, give him time. He's going to adapt to the college game. Give him time. He's going to right the ship. If I remember right, I was the only one of the Avengers at the time in October, like September, October last year, saying Wink's going to figure it out. He's going to be great.
No, there's no doubt about it. We were heavy on this is Don Brown 2.0. Now, what I wasn't, and once I took a step back, and once they started we saw things, even in losses, right? Like the Indiana loss, we saw things, right, and other things. But when I really took a step back, I realized, the offense wasn't doing Wink any favors.
No,
they kept the defense on the field.
Exactly.
We couldn't do anything on offense. But also, Wink is like Kinetic alluded to, needed some time, needed to get his dumb it down, if you will, for the college game. And once he did that, it was just he had, like I brought up a few weeks ago, he had something over the likes of Mike McDonald and Jesse Minter, right? Neither one of them held Ohio State to 10 points, especially in their building, especially with as high powered as that offense was supposed to be and what they were supposed to do to Michigan. So,
well, I mean, Wink came in after 20 years of NFL football, coaching against NFL teams, 10-year pros with complex defenses to counter complex offenses. And he came in and he was, to a point, I think he was overthinking it, thinking he had to do all the same stuff that he did in the pros. And on one level, it was good, but on other levels, he was over. Right, he was sort of defeating himself because he was over complicating things, and he didn't need to. And once he even admitted I think in one of the bowl game practice interviews that he had to sort of realize he didn't have to do all that. And he could sort of dial some things back, leave some things open that he couldn't in the NFL, and be able to focus his the complexity, the exotic schemes and stuff that he likes to do on a much more narrow focus and be effective. And once he did that, and it started to click for the guys, it wasn't as complex for the players to play within the structure of that defense. Man, it took off, and it was great.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Look, Dre, we're gonna let you get out of here, man. Tell the people where they can find you, what you got going on.
Like I said, man, y'all can come to the Facebook page, the Victors Nation LLC. Watch us every Tuesday at 9:00 on YouTube. I appreciate the love and support. I'm gonna pull that up right now. Yeah, appreciate the love and support for everybody, man. I swear to God, I get it all over. And like I said, a kid coming from Flint, man, the love that I get, man, it's amazing. So I appreciate everybody. And thank you all, man, for having me on. Like I said, it's an honor.
No doubt, man. Yeah. Thank you.
Listen, fellow Michigan family, man, support another brother of ours, man. He's a good dude. Make sure we support Dre, man. And Dre, listen, this won't be your last time on the show, man. So
we're not, man. I enjoyed myself, man. I really did.
Yeah. Yes, sir. We enjoyed it. Everybody, Dre Fame, ladies and gentlemen, golf claps all around. All right. It is that time. All right.
Uh-oh.
Call-in link will be in the chat.
Oh, we doing a call-in? Okay.
Here we go.
We are going to talk about this thing. We're going to debunk all the lies. We're going to talk about it all. Looks like the head coach is banned for 2 games, ladies and gentlemen. All right. I have my thoughts on it. Kinetic has his thoughts on it. Me and Kinetic have already had an argument backstage before the show came on, so that gives you an idea. Obviously my guy, the Maniac, I'm sure has his thoughts on it, but let's start here. Santa Ono puts in his 2-week notice, if you will, on Sunday, right? Today the university announces a self-imposed 2-game suspension of head coach Sherrone Moore, apparently in weeks 3 and 4, which is convenient, very convenient, by the way.
Well, beyond convenient, they weren't going to let him sit out for the Oklahoma game. Not even because it's of the magnitude of the game. It's his alma mater where he played.
Well, that's
why they're not going to tell him he can't go to that game.
That's exactly why I'm saying it's convenient that those weeks are not 1 and 2. But gentlemen, Maniac, I'm gonna start with you. What are your thoughts on this suspension?
Yeah, real quick, like I said, so correct me if I'm wrong. This is regarding the deleted text messages, correct?
Yeah. That's the idea.
Yeah. So if these text messages were recovered, right? Obviously, the NCAA. I mean, again, it's not the NCAA who's giving out the suspension. Is that the self-imposed from the university? Then why suspend him at all? He's all right. He deleted it. Maybe he made a mistake. But if they were recovered, right, and you can't edit these text messages, you can't say, "Oh, I'm gonna recover. Let me edit all of them." No, there was nothing there for them to get in trouble. So why even suspend them now? Now, my only question is, does that have to do with perhaps a deal with the NCAA in the back door to say, hey, look, we'll suspend him 2 games, right? We will do it if you cut us some slack here and here. But, who knows what's going on? I don't like it, but what are we going to do?
Yeah, I mean, so the thing that I was saying backstage is that I think it was 52 text messages, and the issue is that they're accusing him, and part of the reason they wanted to suspend him for it is that they're accusing him of deleting them to try to hide evidence, evidence pertaining to the Connor Stallions thing. My problem with it is that would hold water if once they were turned over, there was actual incriminating evidence found in the text messages, but there weren't. It's been reported on from multiple places that the NCAA found nothing incriminating in those text messages or connecting to the Connor Stallions investigation. Therefore, what is more likely? He deleted the text messages to hide something, or, as we've all been in situations like this, everybody in here at some point has been in a situation, whether it was a falling out with a close friend or a breakup with an ex-girlfriend, where you especially right after it happens, you go and delete your pictures that you had on social media with them. You delete the text messages because you just want to cut them out of your life. It was a knee-jerk reaction. He deleted it when all this came down because of Connor Stallions, and he didn't want anything more to do with them at the time. If there had been anything incriminating in him, then I would be with you, but there wasn't. So what are they suspending him for?
Okay.
There was nothing incriminating.
we're gonna go in the order that everybody came up, and then we'll respond to what everybody was saying. Dub Q, you're next. What's good? Dub Q is probably having some problems. He always does. Juju, what's good?
I need you to fix that, bro.
What's good, y'all?
What up, Juju?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously they're trying to get ahead of things, for what NCAA is probably going to do when it comes down. I mean, don't necessarily agree with it. I feel like it's bending the knee a little bit, but my honest reaction is I just don't care. Like, to be honest with you, it just doesn't matter to me. Like, you suspend them to 2 games, like, cool. There's no postseason ban in near sight. There's no, I just don't think anything severe is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously that Nebraska game looms pretty big, but I'm not necessarily so worried because we have 3 people on staff with head coaching experience. So, and a lot of leadership on that team. And I think the one thing we're not talking about enough about this team going into the season is there's established leaderships on both sides of the ball this year. Yep. Like, we did not have that last year going into the season. KG, MG, all the people last year, it just seemed like they wanted to get to the league early, and you've seen that early versus Texas. So I just think I'm just not really worried. This is all for the trolls and all for the Twitter fingers, and to me it's really nothing. I'm not worried about this shit.
No doubt. Mar, you're next. Give us your thoughts.
Yeah, like I told you earlier, it is what it is, man. They're trying to get ahead of it. You got to get ahead of it. So when they do sit down with the committee, got to be enough to move forward and move on from it. We can't just keep going into this every season.
I agree with that.
That they keep feeding the trolls. You know what I'm saying? And we over that now. Enough is enough.
Mar, you got an uncanny resemblance to Dre Fame.
Hey, listen. I said the same thing. I was like,
"That's
Daddy,
your brother, bro."
You might need to order some kind of DNA test there, bro.
Hey,
right.
I was like, oh, is that Pops?
Y'all need to do a 23 and
Hey,
check
maniac,
Yo,
maniac. I ain't never met my dad. I was like, oh, there you go.
Hey yo. Anyway, all right. Troy, shout out to my guy Troy.
What up, Juju?
Troy,
What up, Tanner?
Yeah,
what's
Hey,
your
how
thoughts?
y'all doing, man?
Hey,
hey
Good to
Troy.
Juju.
see everybody.
What up, Mr. Maniac?
Hey,
Hey,
Hold on, Tim, because I know you got something to say. We gonna get to you.
hey, Maze, can I ask Juju? Well, I'll ask him later. Never
Man,
mind.
yeah, don't get on here to ask Juju the questions you want to ask him in person.
Hey,
All right,
Juju.
Troy.
So,
No, no,
okay,
no,
go
no,
ahead.
no, 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 no. Yeah, text backstage, bro.
All
Troy,
right,
go
bet.
ahead.
Hey, I just wanted to say hello to everybody. Go Blue.
Go blue.
go
Um,
blue.
man, I'm in my feelings because I feel like we are doing this to ourselves. You wait till they do something.
Mm-hmm.
This I mean, I'm like everybody else. Pros can say whatever they want to or whatever it is, but when we self-impose stuff, it's it really is admitting something. We've been talking all this whole time about us not doing anything wrong and all this kind of stuff, and it's just really upsetting to me.
Well,
Well, I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna respond to everybody at once. So I'll wait on that. But you're right, Troy. It does. It looks like Michigan is guilty of something.
well,
I'm not
can I
gonna.
respond to that specifically real quick, Mace?
Well,
Just
the
real quick.
idea. But go ahead. Go ahead.
So the thing with the self-imposed suspensions, even if we didn't do anything wrong, this is going to come down to some kind of settlement. And any lawsuit, a settlement, there's going to be something given on both sides, regardless of if there's guilt or not. The self-imposing is basically trying to say they wanted like 5 or 6 games. I think the rumor was Michigan saying, "Hey, we'll do 2 if that'll appease you on as far as Sherrone Moore suspension goes, and then we want to go ahead and do it on these weeks for whatever the reason that they gave is." And from what I've heard, the NCAA accepted that part. Now that's not them closing the investigation or the end of the punishments, but as far as the Sherrone Moore text messages and suspending Sherrone Moore, that's kind of where they came to a middle ground on.
But here's the thing, though: if we're going to fight.
Right. That's my
Well,
stance.
even if
Too.
they fight, though, there's still going to be a negotiated settlement, and
All
they're
right.
trying to get out.
Hold
ahead
on,
of
Kinetic. You've had your chance. We
and
gotta
having some
get
control
through
on
3
it.
more people. Tim, go ahead. Give us your thoughts on it.
You know what? Before I say this, I'm thinking that the Spartans they partying, but before I tell them this, instead of uh, instead of focus on build building building a team that can compete for bowl trophies and conference win. Y'all whether y'all whether ce- 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 celebrate because your rival is getting the hammer. No,
Yep.
no,
Very true.
no. They doing this. I think that the reason why they doing they doing this to prove to tell to them that okay we got caught but 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 at the same time we still don't know about that article that came out and that came out in August 2020 2023. There was a article that came out the Michigan football program they files had got somebody hack into their file, and we haven't heard we haven't heard no updates about it. Then 2 months later, we hear about the scandal. So that might be tied to it.
It could be. It could be. Thank you, Tim. Shout out to Tim for that. Brett, you're up next. Give us your thoughts.
Total witch hunt. Just again, just a total another witch hunt. They want, because it's Michigan. That's all it is. If it was Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia, what would happen? It would get swept under the rug for nothing to see, and no light of day would ever be talked about it. Because it's Michigan. Oh, Michigan won a national championship. They won 3 Big Ten titles in a row at one time, and they beat Ohio State 4 years in a row. Oh, they must be cheating. So let's go look at them. That's all it is.
No doubt. It's hard to argue that. The Dom Father, you're up.
Gentlemen, thank you. The suspension, the self-imposed suspension, I view that as a business decision. I'm going to pair up with Kinetic on that. I think it's just a business decision. We're all sick of it. Could you imagine how sick of it they are at the university? And I really believe that this whole thing started, and there was a lot of other coaches and schools that spoke out against Michigan and this sign stealing thing. And what I really believe it comes down to is Harbaugh, because he really advocated for the NIL and got it to where it is today was a push. And no matter how you cut it, the amount of money, billions with a B, dollars in college football, those universities didn't want that to change. And they're sore about it, and the NCAA is giving it that push. And when you think about it, let them have their fun at the NCAA, because as this continues to evolve and change, I wouldn't be surprised if the NCAA becomes gone. And maybe it's a couple conferences to say goodbye. We don't need the NCAA anymore. And
pause.
I remember the
Hey,
day
yo.
after.
1 second,
What?
Tim, 1 second, please.
Yeah.
I want to piggyback on what Tim was saying there. He's right. All the stuff started about Catapult and stealing Michigan practice footage and so forth, and Ryan Day, and that was totally buried. And I actually wrote a letter and called the NCAA. They're not looking into it. It's a done deal.
Mm-hmm.
So.
All right. So look, let me respond to a couple things. Michigan fans, prepare to dislike what I'm about to say. I tend to disagree a little bit with Dom and Kinetic, because for one, if the NCAA wants 5 to 6 games for Sherrone Moore, why would they settle for 2 games for Sherrone Moore on the weeks that Michigan wants them to settle for on the 2 games? 2 games is 3 times less than the 6 games that they would want. And then for them to allow Michigan to say, hey, not only are we going to do 3 times less than what you want, but we're going to do it on these weeks that we want. I think that's, less than ideal if it was a situation where because that doesn't sound like negotiation at that point. That sounds like strong arming. Number 2, the NCAA itself, the institution, has never come out and said that what was found in the text messages wasn't damning. The institution itself has never said that. The 52 text messages that Sherrone Moore deleted and then were discovered or, and handed over, the NCAA never said we didn't find anything, right? That's all these reports coming out saying that what was handed over, the NCAA didn't find anything in the text messages. That's number 2. Number 3, any lawyer worth his salt, I'm talking about any lawyer, Esquire down the street, let alone the amount of money that the NCAA would be paying for lawyers, is going to be able to deduce, hey, the news broke. Immediately after the news broke, this guy deleted his text messages, right? By the way, not only did he delete his text messages immediately after the news broke, his head coach wouldn't hand over his devices, right? And so on and so forth. And it's a long list of Jim Harbaugh not cooperating with the NCAA. Then you got one of the assistant coaches deleting text messages.
NCAA overplaying their power too, trying to act like they're Congress or something.
Yeah. There's no doubt about that. We don't disagree about that. But I'm just saying if I'm just playing devil's advocate here. If I work for the other side, it's a little suspicious. Everybody has to admit that a guy deleted his text messages immediately after the news broke.
It's suspicious up until the point you get it, and then there's no incriminating evidence in there.
In my mind,
then the accusation doesn't hold any water.
Yeah, bro, but we don't know what the hell was in the text messages.
In my mind, I remember the day after
M3.
Yeah,
he also did try to cooperate. Like if you remember the emails and stuff, they didn't give him enough time. They wanted them then. He asked for more time.
Why do you need more time?
Huh? I'm sorry.
What do you need time for?
They asked him for his emails, his personal, and he cooperated. He said there was a period. Can't remember which section of it is, but he was cooperating. And he asked for 30 more days to
let me ask you a
all,
question.
like the emails
Juju.
that they sent him, like he had to go over all of them. And he said, I basically don't have time to do this.
Juju, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
You work for whoever you work for. I'm not saying you specifically. I'm just anybody works for whoever they work for. They're like, I'll take myself. I work for the county that I live in. I do IT for the county I live in. If the county that I live in wants my emails, by the way, it'd be much easier for them to get them. Our cybersecurity people could flash my phone, honestly, and whatever. But that's a whole nother thing. I won't get into that. If the county that I live in wants my emails, and they say, "Hey, Philip, we think you may be up to something nefarious. We want to see your emails." I don't then be like, "Yo, give me 30 days."
No. I think,
but they didn't just come in and want like last week's emails. They came in and told you, "Hey, we want all of your personal emails from all of your email accounts going back to the last 15, 20 years. We want all of your phone records, every phone number that you have."
They said the last 15, 20 years?
Yes, they wanted to go back to like 20.
Where did you see that at?
Whatever, 2012 or something.
Where'd you produce that?
You want me to produce a thing that I read back in?
I mean,
Google
is forever. You should be able to Google that and find that.
I don't mean I'm going to be able to find this specific thing where I read it in last.
Bro, if you say they wanted 20 years worth of,
they wanted
emails,
it wasn't 20 years. It was going back to the year that he got hired. So you still want 10 years worth of emails, personal emails, personal phone records.
It's fine.
Like that's an overstep.
I get it.
What I'm saying,
could do nothing wrong.
No, Maze. What I'm saying is, I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. If you come to me wanting my personal emails and my personal phone records going back 10 years, I'm not going to give it to you.
The sanctioning body of his sport asked for them.
And they weren't asking just for football focused emails. They wanted his personal emails.
Bro, because if you were doing something nefarious, my guy,
I'm sorry.
Would you do it on the
if you're my boss, you don't have access to my personal
No.
email.
Listen to me. The likelihood that if you were doing something illegal, that you would do it on the university's email, the server that the what you mean it doesn't matter?
You're not Congress. You don't have subpoena power.
What's the point I'm making?
You don't have subpoena power to get my personal records.
What's the point I'm making?
That if I was going to do it, I would do it from my personal email. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
What you mean
the NCAA is not Congress. They do not have subpoena power.
We cannot go into your personal email. That. I don't understand why you want to argue.
The disagreement. Here's the disagreement. Because I don't think that Jim Harbaugh or any coach on any team is wrong for denying them access to 10 years worth of personal records.
Fine. The end. Fine. Juju, go ahead.
Okay, but I started with that, but that's not him refusing is one thing. Like he didn't want to give up his personal. The NCAA sent him stuff to go over, which is what I was getting to. Like set himself to go over, and they told him, "Hey, I want this at a period of time," and he said, "I need more time." That was ultimately deemed as, "Oh, you're not cooperating. You're asking for more time." Whoop, whoop, and whoop. He did deny them the personal information. We were talking about like two different separate things. That's what I was trying to get my point across.
Okay, cool. My bad. I have dominated the time. I'm sure people want to get a word in edgewise. Go ahead. Or
Okay.
not. I can go back to talking. If you guys have nothing,
if you have opinion, speak up. Respond.
Okay, I remember, but this was the day after the celebration in Chrysler, and the day after the parade. The president of the NCAA, he came out. He posted a tweet on Twitter that said that the Michigan went the Michigan went 15-0. They won the national title fair and square, without Connor on the sidelines.
Right.
And he also said they also went undefeated fair and square with him on the sidelines. The president of the NCAA had came out and said that.
Yeah, no, he did say that. And for 2023, that might be true. However, this thing was going on according to what we know since at least 2021, right? When Connor Stallions and his plot began. Let me ask another question. Let me ask y'all this then. Because you know where I stand with Connor Stallions. I don't worship him. I don't think he's a hero in any shape, fashion, or form. And now a Michigan coach has been hit because of Connor Stallions. An active coach is now suspended, in essence, because of Connor Stallions. Where do you guys stand with Connor Stallions and your lore, dislike, or like of him?
I'll say this. I think me and you had this conversation, Maze. I don't really know. If it really comes down to Michigan getting hit, then there's no way you could call him a hero. Even if Michigan doesn't, the fact that this stress that you got the fans, coaches, everybody going through the university, to me, you can't call him a hero, man. I mean, he's he looked like a weirdo. Let's call it like it is. I don't care if he's a Michigan man. We got to call it like it is. But the bottom line is this: I'm gonna really reserve, what I need to say once this whole investigation is complete, because I don't know. But to me, he's not a hero. No.
I think calling him a hero is a little too far, but I also think that acting like he's some devil is also too far. I think that
devil is also too far. Oh yeah, 2 months
Who's
ago.
getting that feedback?
Yeah. Brett, it's feedback. Okay,
it's all good now. I muted it.
So what I was saying is that I think that he's a passionate, borderline obsessed fan of Michigan who was on the staff and who tried to do everything he could to help the team. He pushed boundaries and pushed into gray areas of rules, many of which were very poorly written, and has been admitted by the NCAA to that. The whole thing with Sherrone being suspended doesn't change my opinion of him, to your question, because I feel like this all started as a witch hunt to get Harbaugh out of the NCAA or out of college football, and to punish Michigan for what they deem as being uncooperative, and that they're going to go after us for something regardless. Stallions is just the scapegoat for them and their ticket to do so. But I don't think this doesn't change my opinion of him one way or the other. But I'm not saying he's a hero. I'm also just not vilifying him.
Okay, so if Michigan has to vacate seasons because of him, what's going to be your opinion on Connor Stallions then?
The same thing that I just said. They're going to come after us because of Jim Harbaugh, because they had
Nah,
a
bro, it
vendetta
can't be
against
just
him.
because of Jim
They
Harbaugh.
had a vendetta against Jim Harbaugh and Michigan because of
Bro,
Jim
nah,
Harbaugh,
come on.
and
Look,
they wanted him
Kinetic.
out, and they're going to follow it through.
Where's the proof
Connor
of that?
Stallions was just home eating Domino's pizza, and they said, let's just
Bro,
come
they came
after
after us
Michigan.
over a freaking cheeseburger. Yes, they would have found something. If it wasn't Connor Stallions, it would have been something else.
Was the cheeseburger an NCAA violation?
According
Yes
to
or
them,
no?
yeah.
Yes.
What do you mean according to them? Bro,
It
are
was.
we? Is this the Twilight Zone? Am I in the
No,
Twilight
I'm just saying
Zone
he's
right
not.
now?
It's not. This isn't on Connor Stallions. It's on the NCAA and their bullshit.
No. But I asked you if the cheeseburger thing was against NCAA rules or not.
Yeah. So
okay.
It's
Yes,
a fucking
so
cheeseburger.
it's a fucking cheeseburger.
Somebody
Cool.
was telling me,
Like, you want to make a big deal out of a cheeseburger? Go ahead. It just looks food.
No, bro. Nobody is making a big deal out of the cheeseburger.
The NCAA did, and that's why I'm calling them
What we
food.
are making a big deal out of is
the only way
somebody
that
who clearly had no regard for the rules.
I disagree with you on that. I don't think he intended to break the rule. I think he saw a poorly written rule in a gray area he thought he could exploit, the same way every football staff at every level of competition tries to do. They try to find ways to push rules, to bend rules, to operate in gray areas to get an advantage. That's what he was trying to do. I don't think he went into that intending to break a rule and get Michigan in trouble. I don't think he was irreverent of the fact that they're getting in trouble for it now. But I think it's just it's an overreach by the NCAA that wanted to prove a point over a vendetta that they had with the at that time head coach of a school that had backed their coach and been uncooperative.
Let me ask you this. Do you think Jim Harbaugh had knowledge of this?
No.
Okay. If you believe Jim Harbaugh didn't have knowledge of this, then you believe then that Connor Stallions did this under the cloak of secrecy.
I believe that he was doing his job and that Jim Harbaugh wasn't micromanaging him. He was a low-level staffer that probably.
So then you don't believe that he did this under the cloak of secrecy.
I don't think that he did this trying to hide it from the coaching staff. I just don't think there was that many of the coaching staff that were involved.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere. If you believe that he did this and wasn't trying to hide it from the coaching staff, then don't you then believe that Jim Harbaugh should take responsibility for not having control?
No, saying that Connor Stallions was doing it, not trying to hide it from the coaching staff, is not me saying that Jim Harbaugh was overseeing it, had knowledge of it, or participated in it.
No. I understand that.
In March,
you understand he doesn't have to have knowledge of, participate in, to not have control of the program, at least in the way that the NCAA would want someone to have control.
I'm saying that I don't think this was an example of not having control of the program. He was every staff at every level of football and every team tries to find ways to push rules, break and
Twilight Zone,
run in gray areas to give their team an advantage.
This is the fucking
That's all he was doing.
All right. All right. I'm sorry, Troy. I know you don't appreciate my language. That's my bad, bro. That's my bad.
Nice.
Yo.
So this is my thing. In his little manifesto, Connor Stallions talked about he wanted to be the Michigan head coach. Do you think he sabotaged Michigan to try to accomplish that?
No, I don't. No, I don't. I do think that he's a weirdo. I've said that plenty of times. I think that weirdos do weirdo stuff, and he did like little bros do little bro stuff. Weirdos do weirdo stuff, and he did that. So
yeah, in March.
I'm sorry. What did you say?
In March, J.D. Buckell, he be on the on 3, and he had a interview, and Connor Stallions had told him on YouTube during the 21 and 22 season, he used to force his opponents to show their size, and he used to force them to show their size. As soon as he forced them to show their size, but that's when he told them that that he will really will take out a pen and paper and write it down.
Right. No, we know that. We saw the documentary, Tim. Shout out to Ryan Fravel. Believing that, by the way, thank you for the $5 super chat. Believing that Harbaugh had no knowledge is also believing that Harbaugh is an idiot and has no control over his team and staff, like Josh Pate said.
Two things
now,
linked.
that Ryan is different than what I'm saying, and also those two things don't have to be true, right? What I'm saying is, this is what I believe. I believe that Connor Stallions did this under the cloak of secrecy, because Connor Stallions understood that what he was doing wasn't above board. Because if what he was doing was above board, then this information could have been shared and disseminated amongst the coaching staff, which obviously, at least by the way that they're acting, it was not.
But you're confusing the process with the end result. Like, he was bringing his end results from what he was doing.
I'm not
to
confusing
the staff, and that's what they were getting.
Exclusively about the process,
right?
Kinetic.
But he didn't. He wasn't involving the coaching staff in the process because that wasn't their job.
I understand that, brother.
But he was bringing the results to them, and they were saying, "Oh, he's good at his job."
God damn. You got 2 ears.
Since the president has stepped down,
one of them works.
Both of them work.
Other sports.
I really do think you have a problem with comprehension.
No, I don't have a problem with comprehension at all. I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying that it's not the case.
Well, we don't know what's the case. We're gonna.
I know what Connor Stallions himself has said.
I'm saying.
You earlier said that we could not assume, when we haven't heard from the NCAA directly, what their motivation is. Connor Stallions has said that he was not trying to break a rule. He looked at the rule and thought he was operating within the rules under it. It was a gray area.
Now it's speaking the documentary.
Go watch. But what is it? Do we only trust it from the direct source, or are we able to use context?
I certainly don't trust the person that's doing the nefarious things.
He wasn't doing a nefarious thing. He was trying to work within the rules.
We're shutting the damn live down. Good night, everybody. Thank you for coming out. I'm the Maze Madman. Follow me everywhere at Maze Madman. That's the maniac _ or the _ maniac _ I'm sorry, the _ boxing _ maniac. 24 everywhere. Go blue _ maniac 24. Follow it. This is Kinetic 615 everywhere. He also has a gaming thing, Kinetic Games. What is it, Kinetic? Show the people.
Kinetic 615 plays.
There it is. That's Tim. Tim is Thunder Redman. He has a YouTube channel. Go check it out, please. He also does something with college football with Sam. It's great. Check it out.
Awesome.
That's my guy Marmar, who also found his father tonight. Let's reunite them, please.
God damn.
Don't fund me.
Troy is my guy. Juju hates white football players. That's the end.
That's crazy.
Good night.